Okay, so have you ever felt like you're kind of left in the dust when talking to a native English speaker?
Yeah, definitely.
It's like they're speaking a completely different language, right?
It is.
It can be super frustrating.
Yeah.
All that slang, the speed, and like the way they blend words together, ooh, it's a lot.
It is.
So today we're doing a deep dive into some really practical tips
Yeah.
straight from the English Talk podcast
Okay, cool.
on how to actually understand those fast-talking native speakers.
Love it.
So what I found really interesting is that they pointed out that so many English learners, they get so caught up in trying to understand every single word.
Right.
And they say that's not really how native speakers listen.
It's true.
So instead of like getting bogged down in every single little detail,
Yeah.
article or preposition or whatever it is,
Yeah.
think of it more like a puzzle.
Oh.
You just need to find those key pieces of information.
Yeah.
And those are usually the big, like the nouns, the verbs.
The content words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So you're not like freaking out every time you hear a word you don't recognize.
Right.
You're training your brain to just like pick out the most important parts.
Yeah. Just kind of get the gist.
Exactly. And this is where context comes in.
Yes. Context is so important.
Because native speakers love those shortcuts.
Oh, yeah. All the time.
Gonna wanna, shoulda,
Exactly.
all those. So even if those kind of trip you up,
Yeah.
it's the key words in the situation you're in that usually make it clear enough.
Right. You can usually figure it out.
Yeah. They give a great example in the podcast. They say like, wanna grab a bite.
Yeah. Classic.
Even if you don't know what wanna means.
Right.
You can probably figure out that they're talking about food.
Yeah. Grab a bite to eat. Yeah.
Exactly. And another strategy they recommend is immersing yourself in authentic English content.
Yes.
So like TV shows, podcasts,
YouTube videos.
all that.
All of it.
But the real trick here is
Okay.
gradually reducing your reliance on subtitles.
Yes. I love that tip.
I know those subtitles, especially in your native language.
Oh, so tempting.
They're so tempting.
They can really hold you back.
They can become a crutch.
Uh-huh.
So they suggest starting with English subtitles first,
Yeah.
and then slowly weaning yourself off of those.
Exactly.
And you'll be surprised how fast you actually adapt.
You do. It's amazing.
In those natural accents and like the different ways people speak.
Yeah, you pick it up so much faster than you think you would.
Exactly. And remember, you don't need to understand every single word to get the main idea.
That's so true.
They say even like 70% comprehension
That's great.
is a win.
Absolutely.
It's all about progress, not perfection.
Yeah, love that.
All right, so they also talk about a technique called shadowing.
Oh, yeah, shadowing.
Have you ever tried this?
I have. It's really fun.
It's basically like karaoke for language learning.
It is. It's so fun.
So you listen to a short clip, and then you repeat it word for word, mimicking their pronunciation,
What every.
intonation, the speed.
Like you're trying to become them.
Yeah, basically.
It's really cool.
And they say this is great because you're not just training your ear to hear the sounds,
Right.
but you're actually improving your speaking skills at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we can't forget about slang and idioms.
Those are the worst.
The worst.
So tricky.
They can be so tricky, and they can leave you feeling totally lost.
Absolutely.
So their advice is to just keep a notebook or like use a note-taking app on your phone.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and just jot down any new slang or idioms you hear.
I like that.
And then you can like look them up later. And
Yeah.
as you kind of build up this collection,
Yeah.
you'll start recognizing them more naturally.
Right. You start to see the patterns.
Exactly. And they also encourage listeners not to be afraid to ask for clarification.
Oh, yeah.
Like if someone's speaking too quickly, just say, sorry, could you say that again?
It's okay to ask.
It's totally okay to ask.
Most people are happy to help.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it all boils down to one key point.
Okay. What's that?
It's about consistency and patience.
Practice, practice.
You got to keep listening, keep engaging,
Yeah.
and over time, you'll find yourself decoding those conversations with more and more confidence.
You'll get there.
So true.
It's really cool. Actually, what I find really interesting is that it's not about like reaching this magical point where you understand everything perfectly.
Yeah.
It's more about just like constantly improving.
Yeah.
Like expanding your comfort zone with the language a little bit at a time.
So true.
And the more you listen, the more those subtle things, the nuances, they'll
Yeah.
start to become clearer and clearer.
Totally.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll even start using some of that slang yourself.
That's the goal.
That's the dream.
All right. That's it for our deep dive today, folks.
Thanks for listening.
We'll catch you next time.
See ya.